G'day, it's Josh Boorman here outside Manly Local Court. I've just appeared on a matter which involves a fail or refuse a breath analysis charge. So this is basically where the police are unable to obtain a sufficient breath or blood sample from a suspected drink driver. So when they're unable to ascertain what their blood alcohol reading is, they can't obtain a sample. They generally rely on charging the person with a fail or refuse a breath analysis. This charge is a serious charge because they can't ascertain what the particular reading is. It's effectively like putting them straight into a high range category. So that's the matter we dealt with here today. There were a number of mental health factors at play here, and I'll discuss those with you. I'll discuss how we went about preparing and presenting the matter before court today, and then we'll discuss about what the outcome was. So basically this was a matter that occurred 6 weeks ago in October 2022. Our client on that particular day had been experiencing some significant emotional health issues due to a number of personal stresses in her life. Our client is actually a person who has a history of pre-existing mental health issues. She has suffered with ADHD, anxiety and depression for a number of years. So these mental health issues were certainly nothing new to her, but the thing that was unusual was the fact that for the better part of 2022, she has been stable of her mood. She has not been taking her medication for these mental health diagnoses, and she's been doing quite well. However, in the days prior to this incident, wheels started falling off a bit. She wasn't feeling good. She was feeling very low of mood, and on this particular day in question, it all sort of started falling apart. She suffered a significant and emotional breakdown, and she chose to take her medication, something she hasn't done for the better part of this year. She had a bit of a stockpile left over because she hadn't been taking it. So she tells me she suspects that she probably took more than what she was prescribed to of the medication of Ritalin and fluoxetine, which is for antidepressant. It's an antidepressant medication. She then went and had a glass of wine at lunchtime, went back to her partner's place in the late afternoon and mixed self-poured 4 gin and tonic drinks. She was not in a good frame of mind, and then made a very foolish and stupid decision to get into the car and drive relatively short distance, a couple of kilometres down the shops to get some early dinner. She was seen to be driving erratically by a concerned witness who called the police. She was seen to be swerving all over the road, and it dawned on her a short distance down the road that she shouldn't have been in the car, she shouldn't have been driving. So she did pull over to the side of the road. She parked her vehicle and decided to sleep it off. The police arrived, they questioned her. Credit to the police, they did a fantastic job. She was not in a good state of mind. She was quite hysterical. Clearly the police realised that there was some emotional mental health issues that were going on, and she was suffering an episode, and they were very kind to her, very caring to her. She was not aggressive, she was not belligerent, which is usually the case with these types of fail or refuse breath analysis matters. You sometimes get an offender who's very aggressive and tells the police where to go. They don't want to follow their orders. She wasn't like that. She was more in a bit of a not a good frame of mind. She was rambling on. She was telling the police that she was skeptical whether she should do it or shouldn't do it. After a number of attempts that they tried to get her to provide a sample of breath, they were left with no other option but to basically default her and charge her with the fail or refuse breath analysis, which is the charge that we dealt with here before court today. But aside from all that, they were very caring and kind towards her. They treated her with dignity and respect. They were aware that she was not well of mind. They called her family to come and get her, and took good care of her. So, and following on from her arrest, she actually wrote them a letter of apology, sent them a box of chocolates as well, which is something unusual, certainly in that I see in my line of work. Most of my offenders are not happy with the police that they've been charged or the way they've been treated, but this is a bit of an unusual case. So yeah, she was charged with that offence, a very serious offence, because as I mentioned, they cannot determine what the true blood alcohol reading was, so they effectively treat it like a high-range drink driving offence, and the penalties for a fail or refuse breath analysis are exactly the same as a high-range drink driving offence. So that was accepted. A plea of guilty was entered. Our client did a number of things. We advised her that she should go back, get in touch with her psychiatrist, get an updated letter, get booked in, re-engage with them, and she's done that. We got a letter from the psychiatrist. She also did the traffic offenders program, gave a detailed account of what she learned from that course, realised that her actions were inexcusable and dangerous, and anything could have gone wrong. And thankfully, she didn't have any passengers, she didn't have a crash, no one else was involved in the incident. She got a number of letters. She got, we'll put a letter of apology to the court, before the court. We showed the court the letter of apology she sent to the police. Her partner gave a good, heartfelt letter of support. So did her mother and her close friend. And we also had a map to show the court just exactly the distance she'd driven. It was a short distance, but nonetheless, anything could have gone wrong in the state of mind that she was in on this particular day. The magistrate fired a number of questions at me during the my submissions, questioning her mental health, her medication, and I was we were able to give good answers to every question that was fired at us, but the magistrate was satisfied with everything she heard. She was also satisfied with the steps she's taken to re-engage with her treatment and her traffic offenders program, and her remorse before the court. The good thing that was working in her favour was her traffic record was exceptionally good. She's only had one speeding offence in about 17 years of driving. So an exceptionally good record, no prior criminal antecedents, so that was something working in her favour. The minimum disqualification for this type of offence is 6 months. That's what we were pushing for, and that's what we received. The 6 months was backdated to the middle of October when the offence occurred. So she's already done approximately 6 weeks off the road, got about 4.5 months left to serve. But there is a mandatory interlock order that she will have to commit to for 24 months. And due to her financial situation, which is quite strained at the moment, she was given a heavily reduced fine of $750. There was no other levelling up of penalties involved. Certainly the court has a whole range of penalties at their disposal. It is a serious matter, it is considered a serious offence, and our client was very lucky to escape with bare minimum in relation to penalties that could have been given. Very relieved client. It's completely out of character for her. Her mood has stabilised, her mental health has stabilised, she's re-engaged with treatment. I think it's highly unlikely we'll ever see this this person who usually is very law-abiding before the court system again. Thanks for tuning in here at Manly Local Court. I want to thank you for tuning into Boorman Lawyers today. You can catch us at any of the usual social media platforms. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you've got any questions or queries, please don't hesitate to contact us on 1300 941 900. Hey guys, thanks for tuning into this video today. I really hope it was informative and helpful for you. There's another couple of videos below that you might want to check out that may be very useful for the process that you might be going through at the moment. Please feel free to like, follow, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel because we've always got fresh new content coming through all the time.